let's go. So what you're about to see, you guys, is a side-by-side comparison. And I'm not going to show all of it, but I'm going to show y'all enough for you to get the point of Soul Kitten's Cabaret and P-Valley. And this is for educational. What's the fair use? This is fair use only. This is for educational purposes. That is why I don't have the voices of the characters on P-Valley, because they'll probably try to strike the video, but y'all will see it and it is what it is. All right, let's get this thing popping.
Is there anybody here?
Okay, so I just want to say in Soul Kitten's Cabaret, the character arrives with a red vintage suitcase, and in P-Valley, the character arrives, as you can see, with a red vintage suitcase. Another interesting thing to note about the characters is that they are both fair-skinned, they're both slightly awkward, and a little shy.
Get your hands!
In P-Valley, the patron is thrown to the ground and he is called the F word, same as in Soul Kittens.
Brandy Whitaker.
In P-Valley, she introduces herself to the owner as Autumn.
Now
Autumn
get
Night.
out of that ridiculous dress and go and get yourself a costume.
He tells her, same as in Soul Kittens, to get out of that ridiculous dress and go over and get herself a costume. As you'll see,
I need to turn you into a young starling, baby. Come over here. Okay.
Same thing happens in Soul Kittens.
The number for you. This? Oh, yes.
Check out the plastic hanger and the fact that the dressing rooms look almost identical. Now, keep in mind, Soul Kittens Cabaret was out many years prior to P-Valley.
Where your bathroom is? Oh, Brandy. So you're modest and you want to be a burlesque dancer? Baby, burlesque rhymes with flesh, and you need to show more flesh if you're going to make any money in this business.
In P-Valley, the new girl changes in the bathroom. The veterans tease her for the fact that she wants to change in the bathroom, same as the character in Soul Kittens Cabaret.
Wow, I'm impressed. You, Miss Brandy, are going to do just fine.
You mean I'm hired?
Is there any reason I shouldn't?
No, sir, not at all. When do I start?
Well, there's no time like the present. Just follow the other girl's lead.
In both Soul Kittens Cabaret, they get hired on the spot, and in P-Valley, they get hired on the spot, and he says the same thing. In P-Valley, we notice that he dresses up like a man for a business meeting because he wants to, I guess, be more masculine.
Burlesque. All dressed up like a man for the occasion.
Same thing happens in Soul Kittens Cabaret.
Only my friends and associates call me Tata. You are to address me as Mr. Timothy McVow.
I see. You got on a little cheap suit, so today you think you a man. I just get a little confused sometimes because don't you dress up like a woman sometimes?
Tata dresses like a woman sometime, and guess who else does? Uncle Clifford, dressed up like a woman.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, ladies. That's what I'm talking about. And you know how I am about my leg lift. You can do a show without the cleavage, but it's the lift that make it burlesque. Exactly. And you know, I just may have to start firing some people around here.
And just like in Soul Kittens Cabaret, Uncle Clifford enters through beaded curtains, and he's making an announcement about firing employees that are notoriously late. If you look at the set, they pretty much look the same. The chairs are the same. It's a backstage relaxed vibe. The environment is pretty much the same.
The reason why I was late today is because I was working on the song. And,
I thought you said you had a test.
Shut up.
And this is obviously the girl who was late because she has a child and no one to look after them. Same as Soul Kittens.
I need this job for my son. You know that.
All right. And this is where the veteran performer lets it be known that she is the person that people come to see. She gets up on the stage. She does her rah, 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 same as the veteran performer does in P-Valley, gets up on the stage and lets it be known that she's the person.
You, an employee of the Soul Kittens, you put your hand on a customer?
This character is the guy who is the manager of the business, goatee, black hat, just like in Soul Kitten's Cabaret.
Can you read the commandments? Yeah. Listen, man, every employee has to read, memorize, and sign off on the rules of this establishment. Come on, man. All right. I will have to disobey 3 of the Soul Kitten commandments in order to lose this place. And trust, I run too tight a ship for that to ever happen. Ta-da.
All right, they're Soul Kitten's rules, just like they're Uncle Clifford's rules. If you break these rules, you're in big trouble. Everybody knows from P-Valley, that was a big part of P-Valley, the rules, and the rules were originally in Soul
When they
Kittens.
see what I do with the money that I make here, they will have to accept me. They won't have a choice. Because I am going to create the Women's Crisis Center. Okay.
And of course, you see Mercedes decided what she was going to do with the money she made from working at there. She was going to open up her gym. She talks to the lady about opening up the gym. The lady tells her that dreams are expensive, and she says she saved up her money.
All I need is to get the money for my building. And then government grants are going to cover the rest. That's right.
And then, of course, the lady tells her that she needs to up the ante and she can charge a little bit more because dreams are expensive, is what she tells the dancer who wants to open the center.
You absolutely right. My dream is much closer than you think. Listen, little girl, you don't have to quote the Bible scriptures to me, okay? My mother did that for 18 years of my life. It didn't keep her from tearing me down every chance she got.
And then you'll see in Soul Kitten's Cabaret, there's a mother who tears a dancer down every chance she gets, and she's quoting the Bible to her. So that also is a part of story. Even though it's a different dancer, it's still a part of the story. And the women are together doing a praise and worship moment.
What you ever want to think or believe, your father and I were in love. Very, very much in love.
Uncle Clifford and Little Murder are in a down low relationship. But down
Michael,
low.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah, it's cool. Actually, my grandmother used to call me Michael, so you can call me Michael.
All right, so 2 young lovers fall in love backstage talking about grandparents in both Soul Kitten's Cabaret, and this is the scene where he talks about his grandfather, and they fall in love backstage in P-Valley.
Look, I can get you up to $1 million. 90% of them ain't nothing but statistics anyway.
In Soul Kittens, they meet in a park with a reluctant inside man, and in P-Valley, Isaiah Washington's character, who has a goatee just like mine, meets in the park with an inside man to try to get information to take over the club in both shows. And you see Isaiah, very similar, begging the inside man to come on and give him the information, and he carries a flask. The same way my character carries a flask.
You trying to make a fool out of me?
No, I'm not.
You trying to take everything I work for?
No, I'm not.
And in this scene, let me pause. In this scene, what's happening is one of the characters' exes comes back in Soul Kitten's Cabaret, grabs up one of the co-workers, holding her by the neck, threatening to hurt her, the same exact way that it happens in P-Valley. And she tells her former boyfriend to let her go.
You need to let that girl go.
So what's really interesting is 2 different characters are saying these lines, but the story, the fact that someone is being brought in, grabbed up, hemmed up, and the person is saying, let her go, let her go, let her go. And that person wants to know, is saying that this person is trying to take advantage of him. That's very, very similar.
It's going to really loosen you up. What are you doing?
In this scene, just like in the scene in P-Valley, the new girl's having too many drinks. The girl who works in the club at the bar is trying to tell her to slow down. Instead, she gets intoxicated in both shows. This is her saying to chill out. And of course, the same thing happens in Soul Kittens.
Do not serve her any more drinks. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And of course, in Soul Kitten, she has too many drinks, goes over and flirts with a customer, and then gets into an altercation with an employee the same exact way that it happens in both
That you're
shows.
fresh off the train from Disneyland. You might want to move over there before I kick your little ass, though, girl. You need to move.
So what's up, Sharita, huh? You want some of me?
Same thing happens here. She's pointing her face. She's saying, if you want to be an alcoholic. What's happening in this scene is they're all in sort of a 3/4 round circle because they all believe that the club is about to be shut down. So look at how they interact with one another. It is the same story in Soul Kittens Cabaret as in P Valley.
I am.
This is the semicircle where he's saying, I'm sorry, the club is about to close. I love each and every one of you.
It's easier to watch them tear down this building than to watch Frank Jr. tear down you girls' lives. I love you girls.
And this is him talking about how much he loves them and that unfortunately you got to take an L sometimes.
I want to go. Ronnie,
Yes, baby.
congratulations on your Soul Kitten Family Life Sentence. And last but not least,
And they both use the term, and last but not least, while they're going around saying their sort of goodbyes, for lack of a better word. So the nuances with him as a club owner.
why you want this place so bad, Frank Jr.? I know about the casinos they're trying to build.
Now, that's probably the most important part of the whole thing. So you guys have been watching all of these little, nuances and story elements here and there. The biggest part of it is that the plot line in both P Valley and Soul Kittens Cabaret, after all those other things that are similar, they have a new girl who comes carrying a red suitcase. They have a new girl who comes carrying a red suitcase. The new girl is awkward and needs to change clothes, and he points her over same day to a counter where she changes clothes. That exchange is the same. The young girl who falls in love with the handsome young bartender, that story is all the same. There's so many similarities, but the overarching theme, the plot, is that the valuable land that both of the venues sit on just happen to be at risk of being snatched up by greedy developers for a casino. So you got a club in the city of Detroit, which is what Soul Kittens was, and real casinos came to Detroit. And then you have in P Valley land that they want to build a casino on. Now keep in mind, I gave my script to the CEO of the company that produces this show. Here is Uncle Clifford, finding out about the land in the casino in P Valley.
And I know how much money this land is worth.
Now, we gotta.
So this is the antagonist.
You can leave me out of that, bro.
Who is
That
homophobic.
just means one less salary I have to pay when I take this place over.
Mr. Rudder, you will not stand here and insult my employees or me any longer.
Okay. So in the scene in Soul Kittens Cabaret, Mr. Rudder, who is the homophobic antagonist who wants to set Tata up to lose the club so that he could then take the club over and turn it into a casino, is the same character as Isaiah Washington's character, Mayor Ruffin. So in Soul Kittens, it's Frank Rudder, and in P Valley, it's Mayor Ruffin. Same goatee. And in this meeting and in this exchange, they're having the same conversation. I'm going to take over your club. I'm going to force you to have to go into foreclosure. I'm going to own it. I'm going to put you out and I'm going to turn it into a casino. This is the same exchange that he is having with Tata. Now, why he has to be a homophobic person, just like the character in Soul Kittens Cabaret, you have to ask Katori Hall that question, or whoever she talked to at the company where she was swapping story ideas.
Now, you can try every possible way that you can to try and take over my club, Franklin Jr.
This is a little note. I want to say I do recall an interview where Katori said that somebody wanted her to have this whole conversation in the dressing room, and she said, no, we got to get out of the club. So she made the decision to go into a jail cell. But from what I understand, originally, this conversation and this come to Jesus moment that happens in Soul Kittens Cabaret and the come to Jesus moment that happens in the jail at P Valley were supposed to both be happening in the dressing room. I don't know why she made that decision, but that is pretty much the only thing that's different in this moment. It's women inspiring each other.
We all got problems. Everybody got something that's weighing on their heart and heavy on their back.
Wouldn't know it to look at me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't play that because I don't have the right to play it. But anyway, that basically, if you remember P Valley, you remember that's the scene where the mother is basically saying that same speech.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? It's Mike.
Michael? What are you doing, robbing people now too?
I'm the same man that you held the door open for, and the same man that I thought you had a moment with. Maybe I was wrong.
The same guy who pulled out a gun the other day, waving it around, threatening to beat up and shoot people.
Oh, come on. You know I did that. Come on. Now, who told you that? That was a lie.
Yeah, so you didn't have a gun the other day.
I had a gun the other day, but it was to protect you.
Protect me from what?
From Tyrone, Brent. You know that.
Okay, and in P Valley, these are the two young lovers, and what is happening? The bouncer is protecting her. She pulls a gun on him instead, and the love affair is over. They fall out because the bouncer, the bartender, is protecting her from someone, and instead she turns on him. In both stories, the young lovers' end of their relationship is the same. Okay, so I want y'all saw how Frank Rudder walked into the situation where they were all sitting there. Isaiah Washington, who's my homie, comes in with the same fedora and walks through the same way in P Valley that they walked through in Soul Killer.
Oh,
Watch
just
this.
the man I've been looking for.
All right, he's leaning in, taunting them. So I just want y'all to notice something very important for y'all to notice. You see the hat that my character Frank Rudder is wearing as he leans in to taunt the owner of the club because he's about to take his club. Let's not be fooled. Same hat, leaning in to taunt the characters because he's what? Taking over the club. Same exact ending, guys. Just a different suit, but the taunting and the coming in and the walking through and making a big entrance in the fedora, same guy.
Everything you want, so please just sign the damn documents so I can get them back to my lawyer.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just doing what I was hired to do.
All right, same thing happens here. Dancer nobody likes just shows up out of nowhere. What does she have up her sleeve? What is she doing? That's what everybody is asking in P Valley, and that's the same
What
thing
are
they're
you
asking in
talking
Soul
about?
Killer.
You know, your $2 hoe just went up to $2 million.
What happens is she comes in with a plan. Dancer nobody liked. Very clear that there's an exchange happening here in both shows. Phone call happens. We discover what is happening. The plan to do the casino is foiled.
Bianca, darling, is everything signed, sealed, and delivered?
She comes in, drops the money on the floor. What happens? She now has ownership of the venue. Okay. I can't play that because there's some P Valley audio in there. However, same thing happens at P Valley. If you guys remember the end of P Valley season 1, even though it is a different dancer, a dancer ends up getting the building in the end and becomes partners with the owners. At the stairs, the routine, the way that they play the stairs, same situation here as in, let me reduce this so you guys can see it. The LED lights on the stairs, the colors of the venue, it is all so clear. It's clear enough that it deserves to go to trial. There's enough information in here. Look at that. The way you can't tell me that these two shows about strip clubs and performers don't have enough similarities. Shirtless male performance in a male-oriented club. I'm sorry. Shirtless male performance. All right. So this is the last thing I want to share with you guys, which is probably the most important, which and I don't have any more videos to I'm sorry, video comparisons to share, but I do want to share this synopsis, and then I'm going to let y'all go. So the synopsis for Soul Kittens Cabaret, keep in mind, the company that put P-Valley out, that gave Katori Hall $100 million to produce it, had access to this as well, right? So the synopsis for Soul Kittens is: at the heart of Detroit was one of the hottest spots in town, known for revving things up in the Motor City, Soul Kittens Cabaret. 5 women fueled it all. Detroit was synonymous with Soul Kittens, and Soul Kittens Cabaret was the hottest ticket in town. People would fly from everywhere to catch the kittens in action. Forging fantasy with fanfare was their game, and they played it oh too well. But in the midst of the Soul Kittens presenting to the masses all of the glamour, glitz, and glad times they were going through their own individual struggles. Follow them as they take you on a journey into their life in Soul Kittens Cabaret, as they discover, amidst the pains, pleasures, and false promises, what fame really has to offer. From catfights to conspiracy and sisterly bonding to backstabbing and dancing and dealing drugs. The Soul Kittens saw it all, and the Soul Kittens Cabaret was at the heart of it all. It's a look into their world as they discover the real meaning of friends, family, and what you ultimately have to do to forsake them. That's the Soul Kittens synopsis. Here's the P-Valley synopsis. Set in the infamous Mississippi shake joint called the Pink Pony, Pussy Valley is an intimate window into the unexplored Southern strip club world where the desires of pro ballers, politicians collide with the dreams of 5, same amount of women, brave women. For these women, the line between performance and reality becomes blurred as the drama of their outside lives, same as Soul Kittens, threatens their onstage personas. One on the quest for money, power, and respect, each woman must make a choice. For some, it's a step down. For others, it's a step up as the Pink Pony is constantly shifts between a platform of freedom and a gilded cage. In this world of smoke and mirrors, who will fail and who will fly? Now, just the last few lines and what you ultimately have to do to forsake. Just the last 2 lines of these synopsis. Let me go back to full screen, guys. So in P-Valley, a character appears wearing a white gown as a spirit coming into the club in a white gown. Hot pink neon sign. Hot pink neon sign. These 2 things are very, very, very similar stories. The fact that I went and I left my script and all of my materials with Stars and with Lionsgate, and the CEO and Lionsgate own Stars, it is all enough for us to be able to go to trial. I'm so disappointed that they just keep filing motions to prevent this from happening. And while filing all of these motions to prevent it from happening, my family has suffered tremendous, tremendous financial losses. We've lost people that we love and care about, all because these people, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, you guys saw the comparisons. You see how clear and obvious that it is. And I'm not saying that it's a clean cut, like cut and dry, open and shut situation. I'm saying that as creatives, you shouldn't have to lose everything, especially when you have evidence as clear as the evidence that we have, that we at least deserve to go and present these facts before a jury. It's impossible to win against, well, it's not impossible because anything is possible with our God. We truly believe that. But in the real world, it is very difficult for the average person to take on a multi-billion-dollar company. And I truly believe that that is what these people have been hoping for. The fact that we will not have the financial resources to fight them. It has been very hard. I'm not somebody who's going to hold you up and pretend like this has been easy. I'm not walking around with a Wonder Woman vest on talking about, hey, I got this with gold bracelets. It has been pure hell. It has been mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and in every other way the most draining, disappointing process of my career, hands down. And it is because I know that this battle is really just beginning. But I wanted to share this video. And those are not all of the comparisons. There are many more at wirfmedia.com. But I wanted to share this video because there's so many people out here who just believe that I'm just making this up. I understand when you look at Soul Kittens Cabaret, the play, you might think, oh, that's cheap bootleg, Chitlin Circuit play. Yeah, it may be all those things. but the story of the venue in the inner city that is owned by a member, non-binary, which is a word now, non-binary member of a community. The story of 5 women, and both shows got 5 women. The story of this venue, this beloved venue, being on valuable land for a casino. There were moments that they didn't even bother to change. You guys, they had $100 million invested per the CEO of Stars saying this in a video. And they still came up with a story that had the same beginning, the same middle, and the same end. The nuances of the girl changing in the bathroom, the nuances of the stripper nobody liked saving the day for the club, the fact that the person who was trying to take the club was a homophobic, angry person named Ruffin. My character is Rudder. The fact that the character who's the lead character was in a was in a down low relationship. It doesn't matter that my character's character was white and this character's character was a hip hop rapper. The fact that he was in a down low relationship with someone. The fact that both characters inherited the club from a loved one who performed and was at the club in the past. It's all something that is worth unpacking with a jury. And unfortunately, because I'm a Black woman, this case has just been dragged on for 3 years. Now, I'm going to try to ease up off of talking about it because I feel like I've given you guys enough information. I've shown you enough of, the comparisons. I've got out here, on my soapbox and advocated for myself enough for the people who really care about truth and justice to know what's really going on. So I'm going to try to step away from it and really get myself into music and being creative. But it is heartbreaking to have invested 30 years of my life into this industry and to have done nothing but try to inspire people and motivate people and create opportunities for people to thrive and to grow and to have something that was worth $100 million investment from one of the biggest companies on the planet infringed upon, in my opinion. That's how I feel. And to not be able to get to trial after 3 years because they just keep with all this money just sliding paperwork through. Please. And like I said earlier, I have tried to settle. I have tried to have, but you cannot come to me with a work for hire mentality. You have to come with me the same way I came to you. I came to you pitching ownership. I came to you saying that I have the same people who invested in Tyler Perry, who promoted Tyler Perry's shows and invested in Tyler Perry. Those same people are prepared to invest in Soul Kittens Cabaret and make this a dramatic series. Soul Kittens was a dramatic series. It was venues in Vegas. It was a live show. It was a touring musical. From day one, from jump, this was a brand that had a lot of layers. And now it is a show that has been in litigation with a company worth billions and billions of dollars because they simply do not want to acknowledge what is so obvious, which is that these are the same stories.